Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Cat Waterflame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gran, Terra, Shadowfront. I am John, your game master for the evening. Black Lives Matter, trans rights, human rights, etc., etc. I'm joined today by William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Valdez Stonebeard, the Dwarven Samurai.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Ariel, a smart gunslinger.
And,
now.
and Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara. I'm playing Titania Velkorian, a Ladrin Druid Princess.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I'm playing Carolina, the Barbarian Artificer Hume. And voting is also a thing that matters, even if it's not in the same category of thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Also go out and vote if you haven't yet already. I got my vote put in as soon as we got our ballot. So it was like filled it out, went out, put it in.
Acknowledge that voting is not the same thing, but it matters.
No, it absolutely does. It absolutely does.
Can I just say I love living in a state where we've been doing this for a long time? So
Washington too. Yep. Right. Yeah, it's like.
And Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Gent Minar, half-elf spell slinger.
And Cody.
I'm Cody, and I'm playing Ithram Volar, Hobgoblin War Wizard.
Nikki will not be joining us this week, so Skuz will be on autopilot as Skuz occasionally goes on. When last we left off, there was a deck of many things, and many things are being drawn from that deck. Specifically, as Gent retrieved the deck from Skuz having just having drawn 3 cards, one of which made Skuz's clothes and all his worldly possessions go away, and the other 2 gave him really cool weapons. As Gent brings the deck back, he just sort of almost mindlessly, and everyone hears the everyone but Ithram hears the sound of a card just flipping over on top of the deck. Gent, as you look down, it's just the card just shows a depiction of fire, and nothing seems to happen.
Put it face down, shove them back in their case, and jam it in his pocket.
Meanwhile, before you do any of that, we cut to, perspective-wise, the 7 Hells, particularly the first one, Avernus, where there is an ongoing war, as there always is in Avernus, between demons and devils constantly sort of murdering each other for fun and games.
And assuming that Final Show Films games take place all in the same continuity, there is currently a bunch of evil assholes wandering their way through.
You see
in the background.
You see a group of weirdos on one side.
Absolute assholes about to fight a Narzagon.
But on the other side of Avernus, from where that's happening, there is this barrier, this golden dome of light that many thousands of years ago sort of settled over Avernus, and ever since then, another secondary sport aside from the constant warfare has been greater demons constantly throwing lesser demons at the dome to see if they can break through it. There is the sound of screaming as a small imp cat flies through the air with smoke singeing off their tail, slam into the barrier and just explode in a pile of fire and blood. Follow the arc back, and there's just a crowd of Cambions and other larger demons sort of sitting on a ledge, drinking from human skulls and laughing at the whole thing.
Golf clap, golf clap.
As a heavily armored figure dismounts from a nightmare, and sort of cues up at an imp with a flaming spear as if it was a golf club.
Are they using imps or are they using quasits? Or did they just grab random devils from the sidelines and throwing them around?
While imps and quasits are both are distinctly different, being devils and demons, in the hierarchy of the seven hells, they are almost the lowest form of sentient life, and thus no one really gives a shit which one you grab to throw at the wall.
Yeah. So devils just grab a random, like,
Yeah, they don't really give a shit. Just grab, put, throw. As this armored figure is preparing to, practice his what's it called when you're the initial
Driving
swing.
Yeah, that one. Suddenly, his head sort of tilts up and looks towards the barrier. After a few moments, and as some cat calls are happening from the other major demons, he grabs the imp from the ground, climbs back up onto his nightmare, skewers the demon onto the end of his flaming spear, and rides full force at the barrier.
Like he's jousting with it?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
As he gets to the barrier, he slams this impaled imp into the brilliant light wall and just starts pushing. And as the imp begins to smoke and immolate from the divine power holding it back, something, for just a second, gives way. And in a flash of light, this armored figure passes through the wall. Meanwhile, back at the camp.
The good news, guys, we don't have to fight the imp.
We were worried about that.
Yeah.
I was real worried.
I was hoping that you would just fire into the air, and then that messed up his golf swing.
I just need like the concern meme with just Valdeth just.
I think Ariel was getting ready to say something.
Ariel.
Pardon me again. You're not going to show favoritism about who can draw or not, are you?
Oh, I absolutely am.
What was that?
Fire.
Okay.
Well, I
Is
do
that-
not see any fire.
Can I know that, or can I make a roll for that?
None of you know what the individual cards do. You just have a general idea of what they can do, but not what the specific ones do.
Right.
Ariel, what you're trying to say is that you want to draw one.
I am interested, yes. Meanwhile, in the back of my head, shut up, you!
You do see, like, Scuzz is over there sort of marveling at these two interesting things.
Right.
As Scuzz grips the bookmark and sort of twists, it transforms into this elaborately jeweled dagger, and holding the sort of basket-hilted rapier handle in the other hand, twists a hand and just a beam of light erupts from it, forming a blade. This is cool.
Again, we'll look around at everybody else. And then, how many?
I'm comfortable with one.
One it is.
All right.
Ooh, I can see the cards.
I
this
love
time.
that. Death incoming in 3, 2, 1.
Ariel walks over, draws a card. What'd you draw?
Queen of Hearts.
That's the...
Really?
Again?
So you draw
Again?
the image of a key,
Oh, well, this again. That worked.
which
Don't sound so disappointed you survived.
which erupts into a brilliant glowing light
Yep.
and transforms into a large golden pistol. Hang on, I'm gonna go add something to your character sheet in D&D Beyond.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
It's about
It's fairly early in the
morning.
yeah, it's like
Oh, I
it's
know.
like it's like 8 o'clock.
8 a.m. Beginning of the workday, you know.
Yeah.
It's opening shift.
Honestly, if you're
Oh,
gonna destroy the world, better do it first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
That's true. That is
Pretty much.
entirely true.
All right, but that's 6
there
cards.
is a new weapon in your inventory.
I think we should be done now.
I've
Statistically
accomplished
speaking,
what I needed.
things are bound to take a terrible turn at some point, and we're really pushing that.
I'm watching everyone very carefully.
I mean, Gent's the only one holding the cards right now, but
Statistically speaking,
yes.
This is magic.
You and I
Statistics
both know.
do not matter.
Statistics absolutely matter.
It's not how they work, but they do matter, and we literally only needed to draw one card.
Congratulations,
hey.
Jeremy.
Okay.
That's what happens when you're a gunslinger and you draw the key.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Is it that gun that you showed me like 8 months before this
Feel
campaign
free
started?
to read it out loud, Jeremy.
It is called Emperor's Virtue.
Yep,
boy.
that's the goddamn one.
An
Wait, did you
advanced
just draw the
magical-
Emperor from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
No.
An advanced
No.
magical revolver gifted by the God Emperor of Tehran's Divine Foundries, +3 bonus to attack and damage.
good.
Oh,
You
wait.
can forgo the first attack you make with this weapon in order to cast True Strike. If you have an extra attack, True Strike effect takes place on your next attack before fading. There are 10 charges and 10 that you use to cast. 1 charge for Ensnaring Strike, 3 for Conjure Barrage, 3 for Flame Arrows, 3 for Lightning Arrows, 5 for Conjure Volley. And when you reload, you can Misty Step
Yeesh.
3 times per long rest, but
3 times per long rest.
It is a awesome fucking gun.
That
Yep.
is a lot of time.
Fuck me.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Right? Right?
and it is this elaborate, like it is this large rectangular golden boxy gun with a big revolving chamber and like a pearl grip handle. It matches your aesthetic, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a spinning chamber fantasy gold deagle, basically.
Well, it's worked pretty well so far.
It's
Well, I know what Lilith and Titania are doing. What's Ithram doing?
He's watching. He's also just holding the manual of golems like a binder. Just like
I say there are more cards than just the Queen of Hearts in this deck. I'm just going to confirm that.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's set to draw randomly and just happened to draw
John
the same
just-
card 3
John
times in
just
a row.
wanted to give us all really cool weapons, so we take out
Well, not
every
quite
other
in a
card
row.
in the
There was a
deck.
demon in
I
there.
mean, there's definitely a Queen of Clubs in there, I'll tell you that much. Sorry, what was that from Carolina?
I said that these weren't quite in a row. There was a flip.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You just
Alright,
have
well-
a golden version of Vash's 45 long Colt from Trigon.
Kind of.
Let's get what we need from Core and go home at some point.
I'm gonna draw
Oh.
another card.
Yeah. You have to.
You're gonna wrestle Gent for it because
What?
he put him away.
Yeah, as Gent is reaching to put them away, Carolina will sort of jerk out to stop his hand.
What's my save to prevent that from being done?
So Carolina, give me an athletics check. Gent,
Oh,
you
this
can
will
give me an
go well.
athletics or acrobatics.
You know what? I'm raging, so I get advantage.
When were you raging?
Just now, apparently.
It's a
Reaction.
bonus
It's a
action.
bonus action.
Go ahead.
Something's about to go down.
Fine,
too.
I've got inspiration. I'm getting advantage too.
All right.
Oh, everyone needs to make me a wisdom save.
Oh boy.
By the way, incidentally.
Oh, whoops. That's a 5 from me.
14.
Oh, you said you had advantage. Oh, what?
On the fight.
Yeah.
Athletics.
15.
Okay. So what's my spell save DC?
17. Yep.
Remember what my
Chat
strength
is not loading.
save DC
Oh
is.
my God,
So were you trying to grab just one card, or were you trying to grab the whole deck?
I was trying to grab one card
Okay.
Grab
So
five.
you,
because
five.
I don't
Grab
like
five.
being one up.
Grab
You-
5. Grab
you-
5
you
cards.
draw-
That's what the wisdom save I made before doing this was
Okay.
for.
you draw one card before Gent can get it away.
And also, as I do this, I am reading a lot of your minds. I just have to figure out how high my DC is.
I don't think it beats 21.
No, well, that's fine this time.
It might not matter. So go ahead and draw the card.
Yeah,
real quick.
no, fair enough. Order of operations. That's the King of Hearts.
Throne.
On. You gain proficiency in the persuasion skill, and you double your proficiency bonus on checks made with that skill.
Okay.
In addition, you
So
gain rightful ownership
essentially-
of a small keep somewhere in the world. However, the keep is currently in the hands of monsters, which you must clear out before you can claim the keep as yours. So,
All right.
this
cool.
so well, you guys keep drawing the good things. So yeah, Carolina just flips open the card. There's a throne on it. It disappears. And suddenly there is just like a piece of paper in Carolina's hand where the card was. Like a rolled up scroll.
Now you can talk Gent into giving you more cards because you're more persuasive.
Oh, no,
now.
no. Carolina
I-
does not need to talk Gent into giving her more cards. Gent has put the deck on the ground and is just walking to core.
I have expertise in persuasion now. Give me a
Ariel
second.
pauses for a moment to see if anybody's going to draw, and if not, she will pick up the deck and not draw, but pick it up.
Is anyone else going to try to draw a card?
Alzet's just
Tanya's
walking
gonna-
after Gent.
Gonna, like, grab the deck
Okay. So,
as you're holding it.
New wrestle for the deck.
well, yeah,
No.
well, no, because Ariel stopped to see if anyone was going to go for it first. So, Titania, you go over and pick up the deck.
No, I just prevent her from picking it up. Why don't we just leave
Oh.
it here?
Absolutely not. Do you not
I
remember
told
the
you.
conversation that we had moments ago?
Yeah, it was all
About-
dangerous, and then a bunch of you started drawing from it.
No, the conversation we had about how there might be a very good reason why why Gent's family was killed.
Also, it doesn't
not
like
leaving
being
this
left
anywhere.
places. That doesn't go away if it's used.
I'm not pulling anything else, but we're not leaving it here.
I want to take it.
It's Gent's. If you would rather you have it than me, then that's perfectly acceptable.
Monkey's paw.
I'm
She
not
can have
drawing
the
from
fucking
it. Did I
deck right
draw
now
from
until
it?
Gent says
Yes.
otherwise.
Very well.
I pick up the deck and put it away in my bra of holding. And I follow the rest of the people back to core.
You realize teleportation circle can actually be cast anywhere, right?
Yes, I am very aware.
Wasn't talking to you, but fair.
I'm the one that cast the spell, so
Hey, well, apparently we don't have to walk all the way back. Hello.
did we not want to do
Again, your
research?
pearl is vibrating.
Man, someone's talking
Yeah,
to someone.
someone's talking to Jack. Carolina, if you decide to look at the scroll,
Yeah.
it is a scroll of lineage. You have a last name, apparently.
Okay.
Congrats.
Do I know
your
what
last
it
name
is?
now?
Because I didn't have one before this.
You are now the Lady Grun. Grun, U with an umlaut over it. And you You are the new lady of Gruna Gipfel, which is a castle in the Shattered Lands.
You are now you are Carolina Green now.
Well, I'll have to check that out at some point because there's like a 3% chance that's my actual lineage.
It's on Verstek Island.
Kent is ignoring his link pearl and just hauling ass back to core as quickly as he can
Valdez
speak.
is right behind you. So.
Hey, do I have that? Do I have it right now? I don't think so. I think I got rid of that one. I'm gonna try and speed up and hey! Apparently we don't have to walk all the way back. Ithram could just do like the circle anywhere.
Yes, Ithram can do the circle anywhere. I have some things I need to get.
Okay. I'll walk slower then at that point because I'm not running all the way back to core. That's too far.
So Ghent, you are marching off to core.
By the way, before we get too far away, I did read a lot of your minds, and I want to know what you.
Oh yeah. So, what was the DC on your rage?
My DC is based on my con, so it is 15.
Oh.
So you got to read. So you got to read the.
Yeah.
You got to a very quick glimpse into the thoughts of Ghent and Titania, and that's it.
Correction, it's apparently 17. I don't know how to do this math.
What's your Constitution modifier?
Constitution +5.
So +5.
That's
what's
17.
your proficiency? So it'd be 17 right now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, because that's my my spell save.
Okay, you got to read the thoughts at the moment of you grabbing a card of Ghent, Titania, and Ithram.
The GM can't provide that information. I
was going to say, who wants to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I guess from Ithram's, you would have heard, maybe not. You probably just would have sensed confusion and why you seem so desperate to grab the deck.
So a big what the fuck from Ithram. Ghent.
Ghent is there's very much a am I going to have to shoot somebody, and then just this wave of resignation.
Titania?
Can't believe you drew a card. This is dangerous. Why? And like sort of yeah, that's kind of the first blast of service thoughts.
Yep.
Valdez is running to catch up to Ghent until she's walking alongside him.
What is Valdez's speed currently?
Slower than you.
Slower than you. So if you're deciding to dash the entire way there as opposed to the power walk you said you were going at.
Yeah, that's the question. Are you dashing or just walking?
Yeah, no, he'd probably just be walking.
Yeah, so you eventually catch up.
Valdez dashes until she catches up.
Okay. Probably doesn't take too long. 30 seconds tops.
You hear the clanging of metal plates approaching from behind.
Yep. And yeah, no, Ghent is very much just eyes forward. Even with the shouts back and forth between Titania, not looking. He's got that sort of, I'm going this way, I'll communicate to people, but don't expect me to look anywhere.
Ariel, are you attuning to the Emperor's virtue?
If I can do that while walking.
Yeah, well, so long as you're not doing anything too heavy intensive, yeah. You can do it.
And she's not rushing. She's not.
Yeah.
She's just walking at her normal, which is, to be fair, a fairly brisk pace.
Yeah. So yeah, you're just sort of
He's someone who
holding
always has somewhere to go, so...
You're holding the gun and sort of focusing
Yep.
on it. Do you have to disattune from anything else?
Nope, I only have one thing attuned to me currently.
Yeah.
Besides it.
You'll attune to it by the time you get to core because it's a long
Okay.
enough walk. So as you're getting to core, you sort of get this sudden rush of divine warmth radiating up from the gun into your person
Not sure I love that, but that's fine.
as you establish this connection. And it's this very much, this gun feels orderly.
Right.
Like this is a regimental gun. Like this gun has a 9-to-5 work day and a calendar that is
See,
all
that's
filled
okay.
out. Like,
I'm comfortable with that part of it.
This gun has a chain of command.
yeah. You're getting very much that sense of like you can, and from that you can tell this is a gun that has been not just forged by the founders but blessed by the Emperor.
Right.
So Gent's going to go into town and buy 10 of those campfire rocks.
Okay. 50 gold each.
All right, so 500 total.
Where are you carrying them?
And a hand cart.
I have sources of holding if you need me to.
They are this big. You're not getting them
Okay.
in your bra of holding unless you're stripping.
Will they
Plus,
fit in the bag of holding?
Putting fire in your tits is usually a bad idea.
It's just warmth. It's not actual fire.
Okay.
They are a little too large to get through the mouth of a bag of hold. Actually, no. Do you guys have a bag of holding anymore?
Yeah.
Carolina's the only
I
one.
have
that
it
has
though.
Yeah.
I think Gent gave it back to me.
Yeah.
We have many items of holding.
Yeah, it would fit in the bag of holding that Carolina has. It wouldn't fit in the pockets of holding Ariel has because, again,
Right.
it's this big.
Right.
Do you have the attunement tattoo things that Ithram made?
They're not weapons.
I was going to say, Gent doesn't. I don't think.
You couldn't store them in the Infinite Armory because Infinite Armory specifies weapons.
Mhm.
How long does it
but
take
yeah.
to stash a weapon in the Infinite Armory? If it's a new one?
Action.
An action.
If it's a new one.
To attune to it.
Yeah.
I don't think it takes very
I
long.
think it's something you do at dawn.
Let me pull up the spell. D&D Beyond. Why doesn't your search in my homebrew? Come on.
It's in the chat.
There we go.
Over the course of a short or long rest.
Yeah, it takes a short or long rest to attune it to the space.
I will attune the Staff of Thunder and Lightning to the Infinite Armory over our next rest
Okay.
of whatever kind.
Yeah. But yeah, so eventually you all get back to core a little bit after Gent does. Gent has a wheelbarrow full of these large red stones.
He would have had them like put in boxes or something, so that they're transportable rather
Sure.
than just loose.
Yeah.
He's not running around with a wheelbarrow or anything.
Your new gun looks very cool to Ariel.
Yes,
Shiny.
it's definitely a thing.
Skuz wandering
Would be
behind
quite
you.
useful for me. I'm not quite as enamored of the fact that it seems to have a divine source, but
It does?
yes.
Oh. What kind?
Do I know the divine source just by attuning?
You sort of get an idea of it. Yeah, you can tell.
The God King.
Oh, cool.
I hope he likes his weapon being used for completely not his purposes, because that's the case now, and he can fuck right off, frankly.
It's blessed by him. He doesn't have a direct connection to it.
Right, I know, but still.
He says of Titania's great grandfather.
Okay, I mean, we're already kind of working for him technically, aren't we? Because the guys Koenig tells us what to do, and then we go.
I mean, we're not working for
semantics.
him. It's Listen, I am an Asma of the deity whose name I can
Elena
Aradnir.
Rathis.
No,
Aradnir.
Aradnir,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Now,
who is a worshipper
Oh.
of Eleni Arathis.
Yeah, that's
There
right.
is enough God in my head right now as it is. I don't need my faith split any further. I got no problem there. I'm just simply saying,
in the back of your head, technically you worship Aradnir every time you go drinking.
okay, bitch. Which yes is out loud.
Sorry?
Not you.
Okay.
The act of imbibement and pleasure are all sources of Aradnir's faith.
You can shut up right now. Your presence is more than enough sermonizing. I don't need you actively proselytizing in my head for an audience of one.
But you make it so fun.
One of these days, I will figure out how to get you out of my head briefly, just long enough that I can shoot you in the face.
None of that was out loud, right?
Oh, yes.
All
Oh,
of
it
that.
was? Okay.
All of that was out loud.
That'll be interesting.
Okay. Titania has gone. Hands to face. This is fascinating.
Here's the funny part. And she looks at Tony, he's like, here's the funny part. I don't dislike her at all.
Okay. You have conflicted feelings. It sounds like.
Listen, it's fine. I've accepted who and what I am. And
I know
accepted
you've said that before.
Accepted that
But
means
you just had this.
Have you never seen the relationship between siblings who have just a little bit of tension there? I'm certain you have.
Yeah, no, you didn't meet my brother. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
I can like Esme quite a bit and still want to occasionally shoot her in the face.
Right, but would you do it?
I mean, if I somehow got her out of me and I shot her in the face, it wouldn't really hurt her that much.
Okay.
She is an upper planar being.
I don't know. You have that cool gun now. Maybe it would.
I'd shoot her with the other gun. It's fine.
I shoot her with the non-magic gun.
Okay. So you're gonna go with the
It's a
less
therapeutic state, and it's really more
Gotcha.
of just my way of telling her to shut up. Because occasionally she nags about Aradnir. Like she thinks I'm going to just change my mind.
Why haven't you? If it's been in your head this whole time, I don't know. Sorry, that was maybe prying.
Why haven't I changed my mind? Is that what you mean?
More like, I don't know. Aradnir seems like I
not quite
gods
my.
Are not something I know a whole lot about, but she seems like a good one.
She's fine, but she is also their deity of control, of lack of control. Lack of control is not something I am generally fond of in myself.
Oh, you can find pleasure in very specific
Shut
applications
up,
of control.
I like the idea of a cleric who is serving two gods that do not get along.
Right?
Elena Rathis and Aradnir get along fine.
I'm sure that they do.
I just like that concept.
Yeah.
It's like the cleric. I have two gods. They're fighting all the time.
As I'm sure you've noticed, and as honestly, to be indelicate about the situation is what has sometimes led to some of the tension between you and I. I am not a fan of people who are, including myself, who are not able to keep control of themselves.
Okay.
That leads to bad things happening.
All right.
That's a Radnet to a fault for me.
Okay.
It is what it is. She's fine. Get along with her great, except for when we yell at each other, and it's she says something snarky, and I yell at her.
He occasionally
Anyway.
yells at you when you blue ball her.
That is true. That is fun.
Yeah. Davis have needs too. Come on.
Yeah.
So
It just seems like, I don't know. You have a lot of money stored up, and you never spend any of it on anything like fun. Besides that one time you bought a barrel of alcohol, and
I did do
the
that,
coat.
didn't I? And the coat has use, and
okay,
and
so
it
that
fits,
one
it
we're
fits
not
my,
even gonna count.
and
So
it's a
just
style
that barrel
thing.
of
No,
alcohol.
it's also a style thing.
Okay, so partial.
But no,
What are you saving it up for?
Well, to be honest,
Because from my perspective, we all might die like in a day or
we could.
even today.
And what happens if we don't? I've made
Then-
an entire life out of what happens if we don't.
Figure it out.
Or have resources you can rely upon. Because you didn't, I don't know, blow it all on something. Frivolity.
Thank you for being non-specific.
I wasn't thinking of anything in specific in that situation, but just frivolity in general. When there's time, and when we're established enough, and when I'm established enough, perhaps I will. But not today.
I think you're established. We're gonna have a house. And we've got
Stop.
a lot of powerful items. I don't know. Anyway.
It is definitely a stop.
I don't know where they are in the city. That's it. We can see if he's gonna answer his earring again. Hey!
Ask.
Where are you? Yeah.
Call for Valda. She'll respond.
Hey Val. Hey Valda.
Yep.
Where are you all?
I'm looking for armor.
We're in the market district.
Okay. And I'll find that place or ask around.
It's very easy to find. What kind of armor are you looking for?
Basically, he's looking for any sort of enchanted armor, or if there are people who sell armor tattoos like he already has one of, something there that would at least be an improvement over what he already has.
Roll me a D100.
Yeah, okay.
I would also like to search
88.
for this.
The markets here in Core are not nearly as thorough or have all of the commission options that you have in Taram. Looking around, there doesn't seem to be anything being sold at the moment that has like protective qualities to it.
Okay, no worries.
And same thing, Ithram, if you were looking.
Okay.
So, you all get back together. You're in the market. Gent has a wheelbarrow full of boxes.
What's that?
Reagents for the campfire stones. I feel like we could probably use them for
Oh. No,
the
those
thing
are really
we're building
handy.
in Grifftop.
It's gonna get hot in. I mean, it's warmer in. Okay. Maybe don't put them near
Well,
something flammable.
Grifftop's also right by the channel, so we'll be getting a sea
Oh, it's
breeze
colder.
coming in.
Okay. Never mind.
I was thinking we could make a. I feel like they could be utilized for heating water.
Oh, definitely.
Specifically.
Ooh. Hot tub.
Yes.
Yes.
Or
I'm
And I'll
laundry
give
or-
you the one that I bought previously.
we have 11 hot rocks.
Do you
honestly,
want
we
me
could-
to put those in my bag?
There is not enough room in your bag for all of
I was
them.
gonna say,
Okay.
Gen's just gonna Gen will just drop it on the hand card he's got and be like, "Yep."
Bag of holdings have a lot of space. They're not infinite space, though.
No, but there isn't really very much in mine, and most of it's like pieces of paper.
But yes.
Gen's strong enough that he is not having any issue with this hand card.
Fair
think-
enough, but
I can think of several places we could put these to use.
does teleportation circle allow for hand cart?
Yeah.
I believe it opens a portal, everything in the
Yeah.
circle gets taken through.
There we go.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're fine.
Okay.
yeah. You just have to. You have 6 seconds to get as much of whatever you're trying to get through.
Awesome.
Whether it's adventurers or a wheelbarrow full of hot rocks.
Just peasant railgun, like as much stuff as you can through the 100 peasants with held actions to throw a bomb through a bomb through a portal.
Seems like unnecessary, but yeah. So, anyways, is there anything else you guys are doing while you're in core?
Nope.
Did we not want to do a bit of research as well while we were over here?
On what?
That lich we might have to hunt down at least.
Yes, that, or perhaps there may even be. This city is very old. There may even be records of something that may aid us.
The Black
with-
Archives are here.
Yes, that's
Yes.
what the name of it was.
Yes,
That's
That
something.
sounds
I-
like a library.
it is a very large and
Speaking
wonderful
of which,
library.
we should get a library for our new house.
No fucking no.
Ithram is like looking at you and going, "Yeah."
Carolina,
No.
Carolina, you do realize that libraries are good for more than magic. correct?
Libraries are never good.
That is patently false.
Just books.
I would love to know what data you're basing that conclusion on.
A lot of experience. I blew one up.
You did?
I
I
don't
thought-
think that was the
That-
library's
that-
fault.
that sound-
When?
That sounds more like you are never good for libraries, not libraries are never good for you. It's an important distinction.
You don't have to come into the library at any point.
I don't want one in a home that I'm going to be living in. I grew up trapped in one.
It's not
don't go in it.
infectious. It won't creep into the rest of the
Yes,
house.
it
Wait,
is.
whose library? Were you trapped in?
The true library doesn't really belong to
The true library?
the most pure form of library, yes. Which is how I know all libraries are bad, because library, the concept, was the one that I grew up in.
All right.
Does that sound
All of you
familiar?
can make Arcana checks if you so
Yeah.
desire.
Yeah.
I will. just
Oh,
for
good.
the-
I have told
This
you
role that I'm
this.
so good at.
Oh, oops.
No,
Sorry.
you
I
haven't.
have
Parts
No,
of
you
it.
haven't.
17.
I'm not usually this open. I don't know. I think I'm magic hungover.
Maybe.
That's going to be a 23 because I'm
sounds like
using
a good
saving
list.
face.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So, Ithram, you're the only one that has ever heard of this concept. The true library is a nickname for a conceptual building. it's sort of like it's one of those arcane theorems that wizards pass around. The idea is that there are certain universal knowledges that wizards and other spellcasters know that seems to come to them from the ether. You know, sort of like the fact that whenever you level up, you learn 2 new spells. You know, kind of thing.
Right.
Or like some people will explain that as just some wizards explain, most wizards explain that as just, you know, that's your decades of practice coming to you, and you know, like you've been working.
Yeah, you're learning to harness more power.
You're learning to harness more power. You're working to formula. You're working to, you know, to craft formula. You're advancing your formula. But others note that quite often some of these spells that we create have other people's names on them. And that seems weird. And so the theory is that somewhere in one of the metaphysical planes that connect the material plane to other planes, possibly the astral realm, possibly the ethereal realm, possibly the Shadowfell, there exists a library wherein all of this knowledge originates or is stored, at least when it is created. So, like, the idea being, like, a wizard creates a spell in this plane, and a copy of it is put in this library, and now wizards from any material plane can access it.
D&D Beyond.
So
I was gonna say, no, I've seen The Magicians. I know
it's one of those like goofball pet theories that keeps popping up here and there, and it doesn't have a name. But people refer to the building as the True Library.
Yeah, so he cocks his head when she says that, but doesn't immediately
Carolina,
pry.
Darling, I have something that I need to point out here. We have within our company a wizard, a spell slinger, other people who are interested in history, people who, how to describe it, keep extensive notes on the people that they hunt down professionally and require research for that. If we do not have a central library, you are going to have a bunch of individual libraries in rooms that you are not aware of that can sneak up on you.
Either you have it all centralized or it's spread across the building.
Works.
Either the library is centralized or it's spread across the building is basically the gist of that.
No one should have any libraries. You can put books somewhere, a den, whatever, but
That's
no
a library.
libraries.
That
What
is
if
a
we
library.
We don't have to
Absolutely not.
We don't have to name it a library.
A library is literally defined as a place where books are kept.
That is one of the definitions.
Nobody
No.
will be checking out the books. Does that make it better?
That is not.
What is? Yeah, sorry, Titania.
What can we do to make it not a library? Because we're getting information as we go along and we're not writing it down, but what if we put it like in something else?
I have a tombstone, but it only holds so much.
Yeah.
Mostly spells.
More?
What if we kill the barbarian? No.
No.
Let me put it this
No,
way.
that's not necessary.
Hey, you make a library, I'll make a hellspawn room. For
I'm
dark
curious.
demonic rituals.
What is a hellspawn room? Is it a place where we summon demons and kill them? Because I could be on board with this.
This does not sound good.
This seems like a very false equivalency. We're going to have...
Personally, I'm fine with a hellspawn room. It would be good practice.
Right?
We're going to
What
have...
is wrong with all of you?
Is that our trauma that we have suffered in the past is responded to in various ways and means, and how we respond to that is not meant to limit the capacity of other independent people who we spend time around. No one is going to force you to enter a library if it makes you uncomfortable. That is your right, especially considering you've had painful experiences with them in the past. But you do not get to legislate the access or capacity for utilization of libraries to people who are not you.
Especially considering the building is largely being paid for by Ghent and myself.
Now,
It's
if it's
not
uncomfortable
just,
for
oh,
you
I
to
have
spend
trauma, which is why I didn't. It's, oh, that is deeply inconvenient, given that having a library probably will make it easier for the library to find me.
Why?
It is
How-
not about you having books. It is not about your pursuit of knowledge that will ultimately do whomever you won because magic corrupts. It is about libraries, and a library that is all libraries is I don't want to live in a space with libraries.
I'm sorry.
Just like
I
you
have
probably
plenty of
don't want your
funding
demon
to make-
uncle to find you.
Did you say that the library is trying to find you?
Yes.
Isram, can that happen?
Carolina, there's a letter on the ground by your feet addressed to you.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Dear Carolina, hi, it is me, library. I have found you.
Alternately, someone in the town
Valdez,
square
make a note
thrown a
of-
letter at us because we're being loud and disruptive. I will pick it up.
You open it?
Hmm?
Do you open it?
Yeah.
The exact
Library
same
card.
letter that you received a while back. That talks about how the library
Yes,
is
I
being
remember that.
reconstructed.
Carolina picks up a random piece of paper off the ground, opens it, and just swallows it whole.
Valdez, if you can remind me when we get in touch with our halfling workforce that Carolina's going to need a private apartment built elsewhere on the grounds at a distance from the main structure.
Bad enough.
I'm
For
sorry,
her
are
own
we just
personal
going
residence.
to gloss past the fact that she just picked a piece of paper off the ground and decided to devour it after
Ariel,
reading?
your perception
That's-
was high enough. You saw it was a letter addressed to Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean,
I told you, libraries are trying to find me. And rather than just shunting me off across the grounds, which is your prerogative, of course, maybe you should be respectful of my relevant concern.
the thing is, there's going to be a place where we keep a store of knowledge because we're going to be gaining knowledge and finding things that need to be stored somewhere.
If you are worried about being found, there are items or spells that can hide you.
Thought.
That's not really the primary issue.
A
You'd
thought.
rather
are
we called
afraid
it
of-
an-
Ariel,
You
Compromise. What if the library itself is on the grounds but not part of the building as a whole?
We could make that the separate structure. Absolutely.
Why can't you just keep your books in a box
Because
under
we're going
your
to have
bed
a lot
labeled
of
pile
books.
of shame like everyone else?
We are going to have a lot of books, and we don't have that much bed space.
Would you
It's
ra-
simply a logistical problem, dude.
Would you rather we call it an archive?
I don't think it matters what we call it.
I don't know if it's the concept of libraries is hunting someone.
an archive is
I-
distinct from a library.
I'm not.
An archive or a den would probably be magically distinct, as long as you don't just, oh, that library that we call a den for Carolina's sake, because magic does know when you're being an asshole.
No, we can set it up as a den.
That bit is true. And
also,
yes,
I already have a spell that can ward an area from being scryed upon, entered via teleportation.
Whoa.
It you cannot be found in it already.
I know what you're referring to, and it's not quite that complete, but if you'd like to cast that, we probably should, for no other reason than paparazzi are annoying, and we have of 3 prominent nobles, one of whom probably doesn't want to be scryed upon.
Very much. So yes,
And we'll
let's establish an archive.
Right off the kitchen so that we can have relaxing breakfasts and brunches in there if someone wishes to have a snack while reading. And it'll just happen to be a place where we store most of our records and knowledge and books.
An archive is distinct from a library. You can't just make it an archive. In fact, it would be an archive anyways, even if you called it a library, because it's a personal storage of information rather than a place for public research and consumption.
The librarian is having a conniption fit. Carry on.
Fair.
Okay.
That said, and as long as that works, that's fine. Is this something we should try to resolve, Carolina?
Should we be hunting down the library at some point?
Oh, no, not hunting it down,
Well,
but trying to
I
figure
already
out
told you most of the story. It definitely is not as high on the priority list as someone who just recently butchered an entire family of prominent nobility inside our hometown, or that zombie pandemic that is probably related to a necromancer we independently need to track down.
Which I would say is our next priority, honestly. It's close and
or
it's important.
Yes.
My personal
fragment of
stakes are not
Eidos
closed.
that we need to fix because via necromancers, via the tracking of necromancers. But somewhere down the line, I am still connected to it. Probably. I can still teleport to what it is, maybe its former location.
Is that where you went?
I thought I told you this.
No.
No, you have not mentioned this to anybody as far as I know.
I probably told Scuzz this because I trust Scuzz most.
Fair.
No.
So this is all
You
new.
know what? I'm gonna actually shut up now because something is fucking wrong with my brain after I touch that deck.
Wrong? How? Do you want me to try and I have I mean it's expensive, but I can try and if you're like cursed or something.
I'm pretty sure it's not a curse, and I'm also pretty sure that anything that deck did require there's much stronger things than Greater Restoration to fix.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I grew up in a place called the True Library, and I was going to be one of the members, but that wasn't fucking happening, so I ate all of the magical and experimentation, and that's why I have a tattoo and spew random magic, including reading minds and teleporting randomly when I get angry.
Got it. It's
So
like heartburn.
Is this a matter, I suppose, of imminent danger, considering it keeps sending you, it's apparently sending you notes?
It's probably not urgent, and if it's urgent, it'll continue to find me.
Yes, that's my concern.
I don't know. I don't know what it would do. I don't know what they would do. As I look back in my bio. I guess it depends on which of them, if any, are making the decisions. If it's Gemini, that's not great. But
who is them?
The librarians, the other librarians, I guess. I wasn't. It's similar in principle, probably, to how hags work, maybe. But they're not hags. I don't actually know what they are, what I am. I'm human now. But there were 12 of them. 13 with me. They were... I never saw any of their faces, and they never aged. To my knowledge, none of us ever left the library.
Now that you're thinking about it, because you never actually thought about it this much for this long in a while, you never saw any real clue to their physical forms. It was mostly just completely covered.
They were humanoid
robes.
shaped in general.
Yeah, they were humanoid in general,
okay,
but like there was no specific definition that you can recall.
It's not like I could say they were human or halfling, but the general physical shapes were what one would expect of a humanoid. I never saw any additional limbs, but I never saw any physical shape to them.
They were as humanoid as a
weird
Nazgul.
because they were the only people I'd ever known.
Fair.
Then I was there for 15 years or so. And then Scorpio told me that by my 16th birthday, I would be one of them. And you know how Titania regularly goes and gets blackout drunk places?
Mm-hmm.
I did that, but I destroyed at least that version of the library. Or I did that and woke up in a destroyed library, true library at the very least.
Ithram, give me another Arcana check since you're the only one that succeeded the first one.
Sure.
I know I downed a whole bunch of magical concoctions and artifacts.
21.
With a 21, Ithram, you're just sort of thinking about the narrative that's being presented to you.
Mhm.
And you've never really thought too much on the concept of the true library because, again, it's a thought experiment more than anything else.
Yeah, it's like a what if there was where everything was stored.
Yeah. But thinking about it, like taking the thought experiment to the next conclusion, most likely, from what Carolina is telling you, what happened is that if this is a conflux of arcane knowledge, then it also goes through what if scenarios. And so there's theoretically an endless number of variants of the true library.
Yeah, there's no way to actually
you can't
possibly no way to destroy it.
Yeah, like you would
completely.
You would get you could create a version of it that is destroyed, but but that's just another version of the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyways, the one I can teleport back to looks like the destroyed one. Looks like it did it after it got trashed, but is floating in which plane is it?
Looked like the astral plane.
Is floating in the astral plane. There's a Gith something ship crashed into it.
That poor ship just had its helm just vanish into nothing.
And the person piloting it just walked into a town holding the helm.
Anyway, like I said, it's not like it's my 16th birthday anytime soon.
When's your birthday?
I will rattle off a date. I should mention I'm 18. I know it's hard to tell with humans, but not actually that young.
Okay. Well, we'll celebrate it when it comes. And there won't be a library at the house.
You turn 19. God, you're young. But
Yeah.
humans.
Oh,
How
shut
about-
up, dwarf.
Thank
Literally
you.
just turned 20.
I know, I'm teasing both of you.
As the 3 human-aged ones glare.
To be fair, I'm only 50, which in dwarven years is early 20s, as far as humans are concerned.
I'm the old one. But we have to do. We wanted to. Some of us wanted to stop and do some research at the Black Archive since we're here. I have to pick up a gift for my niece in Grifftop. So I might head back, but I don't know if we all want to go there. If I don't know how much I'll be able to help at the
Worth noting, the person with the
archives.
teleportation circle is one of the ones that wants to go there. So
Yeah. Well, we have there's that room that we came in. I'm sure you can get back out the same way, right?
That's not usually how teleportation circles work. They might
Oh.
offer
No,
service there, but
it
who knows if
dissipates
any-
as soon as we're
Oh,
through.
okay.
I will have to redraw and.
well, no, that room has a permanent one. So like,
Oh yeah, that
why,
room.
that's
Yeah.
why you can
Okay.
go. That's why you can go to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that doesn't
So, yeah.
necessarily mean that it connects to core unless we know
So yeah, permanent
to Trom,
permanent.
unless someone knows the Trom circle.
Yeah, like permanent teleportation circles are just permanent places that you can teleport to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas teleporting from requires more on the caster than the
Got
location.
it. Okay. Never mind. I guess we're here. I don't have to go, and so like Carolina, if you want to go, and we could go find something else. I'm
do
sure
whatever
there's a
you
sparring
want.
yard.
I've got something to check out now that I think about it.
Okay.
All right. So splitting
Regroup
up
in a
couple
few
of-
hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So anyone that's wanting to find the Black Archives, give me an investigation check.
Right.
18. I can't roll above a 10 for that, I guess.
27.
Damn. There it is.
12.
12.
Oh, I wanted to ask
Yes.
Val and
Go ahead.
Gant some before you go. Just something real quick.
Yeah. Of course.
I asked everyone else and got paperwork back, but how do you feel about revivification?
Reincarnation.
I'm generally in favor.
Okay.
You mean reincarnation?
Reincarnation, that's it.
Oh, that's different, isn't
Sorry.
it?
Yeah, that's it can change you.
Puts you in a
into-
different body or something.
can. It doesn't always, but a lot of the times I think.
It creates a new.
I mean,
body
I'm
for you,
down.
so you get
Okay.
you get
There's-
to go through the
there's
character
al-
customization again.
There's a lot of my goals in life that is currently tied to me being this particular dwarf. So I'd rather not if other forms of resurrection are viable, but if it's about to get down to the wire and it's either reincarnation or not coming back, reincarnate me.
Okay. All right. Cool. That was it.
And
I
Titania
mean, I think it
dies
would be
first,
absolutely
so the question
hilarious
is
if.
moot.
I think it would be brilliantly fantastic if, it turned out that the Minar line got carried on by a minotaur or something. It would keep my grandfather spinning in his grave for centuries.
That's the spirit. All right. That was it.
So
Carry on.
Ariel, leading the way as you all begin asking around. The Black Archives are very difficult to find, principally because most people don't know where it's at. Like several people that you talk to are like they know it's in the city, but they've got no clue how to find it. which is odd just from people that come from Tehran where everyone knows where everything is. It's really odd to be in a city where one thing in particular no one knows where it's at. But with enough questioning and enough investigative sort of putting together the pieces of information that you can gather, you are eventually led to a small, squat building that is just sort of off in a corner by itself. Looks like it's only one floor, with a big, tall wooden door. The entire building is sort of black, like the wood that is made of its construction has been burnt. And then there's just a couple steps leading up to this large door with a pair of heavy knockers on it.
Kent's going to compare the wood to the grip of his current weapon.
The grip of your current weapon is made of bone, so they don't look the same.
But also looks burnt, right?
Yeah, also looks burnt, but burnt bone and burnt wood look different.
Here we are.
Bang, bang, bang.
A voice echoes in the back of your mind. Destination?
Information on liches.
Specific. Oh, in your head.
All echo in the back of all of your brains,
Oh.
because you're all standing there.
Information on the hold on just a second. I need to look at notes. Information on a lich that a necromancer by the name of Simon works for. If there is no information about this specific lich, or rather the lich involved with the Cabal of the Shattered Skull. If no information on that, then the Cabal itself.
The Black Archive. Both of you listed subjects, not destinations.
After Valdeth goes, the Black Archive, the doors go, very well, proceed.
I don't know.
And the doors slide open. There is just darkness beyond the threshold.
Sticks a hand through.
Your hand disappears in the darkness. It's kind of
Son
weird
walks through.
because you can't see, like there's just a line where you suddenly can't see your hand anymore.
Right. Yep.
Ithram walks
He'll
through.
follow his hand.
Well, let's go through.
Walk in.
The doors close behind you. It takes a minute for your eyes to adjust, even those of you with dark vision, which is all of you. Weirdly, like it's you sort of get a sudden feeling like this is what humans feel like when they go into the dark, because you can't see anything, and then after a little while, vision comes too.
I mean, is it exactly like humans feel when they go into the dark? Because I would know that feeling.
Yeah, you would. Yes.
Okay.
It was like you before you and ASMR.
Yes.
You find yourself standing on a tattered runner that is made of a dark burgundy color. Behind you, there is a wall of books, no door. Above you, there is a chandelier with lit wax candles in it. All around you, there are stacks and stacks of books and bookcases, like just beyond counting number of tomes. And in front of you, there is a large, ornate mahogany desk, behind which is sitting a large velvet-backed chair, and in which is sitting a very well-dressed skeleton that is sort of splayed out as if it had died sitting there.
Kent just grabs the closest book and starts flipping through it to see what it is.
Do we shoot it?
It's a skeleton.
Yes. My point exactly.
Oi, you in a chair!
The skeleton moves.
Yes, we shoot
As
it.
you call out, it reaches up with one hand, closes the jaw, leans forward. You can now see that it's wearing a top hat and a monocle. Welcome to the Black Archives, the skeleton says from the desk. And who might you be?
The Steelhearts, Griffin Company from Terra.
The skeletal head tilts. Ah, yes, I am familiar with this company. We have one tome on you. What can I help you
Read
with?
it.
The fact that we have a book is impressive.
Yes, read it.
I am Jack Sulzbach, the proprietor of the Black Archive. How might I assist you?
Well, you two have subjects that you're looking for. I actually want to find that book on the Steelhearts now.
Gent, by the way,
I'm not saying it again.
you pulled a book off the shelf and started flipping through it. It is some sort of narrative fiction regarding an orc that sort of goes through a series of trials and tribulations before in order to prove themselves to some sort of sentient naiad in a lake in order for them to provide them with a magic weapon which they can then utilize to take over a kingdom.
Ah. I hate historical fiction. Sticks it back on the desk.
You sort of put it, and then a little sign clanks down from above the thing as you put the book back, and it just says fiction.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking for information on the Lich Rahor.
Yes.
Rahor.
We have any number of tomes on liches, necromancers, dark sorcerers, shadowcasters, demons, and devils. Is there a particular subject or just general information you're looking for?
Well, this fellow's name is Rahor, and
Yes.
apparently he's affiliated with this Shattered Skull. And
Cabal of the Shattered Skull.
that one.
It's a cabal that includes there's a necromancer involved by the name of Siamon.
For cabals and organizational structures therein, take the first stair to the left and go down 4 stacks and knock. For historical documentation on the Steelhearts Griffin Company, take the first stair on the right, go down 2 stacks and knock.
I feel like you get there, it's going to be just a pamphlet.
Well, we'll take the first stair on the right, go down 2 stacks, and knock.
And assumedly the rest of you go the other way.
Yeah.
No, Ithram stays back.
Oh, so
okay.
they go off. Ithram, you're left there. Jack looks at you. Yes.
Information on Eidos, past interactions, any information on shards or shards of
religious
deities.
documentation. That's in the sub level. And he points over to a candlestick where there's a series of stairs next to it going down.
Do you have any tomes on the True Library?
That would also be in religious documentation. It's just pointing over towards the stairs going down.
Thank you. And he'll walk down.
All right. So we'll start with Valdeth because that's going to be the shortest one. You knock.
Chick track, really.
The
Pop out.
bookshelf slides away, and there is Jack Sulzbach standing on the other side of it.
Damn, you're quick.
So, looking for information on the Steelhearts, are we? This way.
I'm just curious what people have written about us.
He leads down. He walks over, running his skeletal hands along spines of books before stopping, grabbing, tilting, pulling out, and handing over to you a book which just has sort of it's sort of a dark brown leather tome with sort of a silver embossing that says the Steelhearts on the front.
I will open it and flip through it.
It's a series of it's a series of enumerated indicators that are listed as sort of chapter listings. There are 32 of them at the moment, and as you sort of start going down, the names seem fairly esoteric. As you're looking through the list, starting with a chapter. The first one just says the Steel Hearts. The second one is the Light Wall. The third one is reinforcements. The fourth one is be it ever so humble. The fifth one is this is our everyday, and it goes on and on. And if you flip through it, it's just a recounting of your lives from your mission out to the Light Wall, up to now. And if you flip to the end, you find a page that is talking about you reading this book.
Is it being written as I'm reading it?
No.
And then Fairly did.
No, it's just it's finished. The page is finished.
Does
It just
Valdeth go back
Valdeth
and
is reading
spy
his
on
book.
anyone?
I mean, Valdeth looks at the book, closes it and puts it back on the shelf, waits a second, pulls it back out, checks the last page again.
It indicates that you had closed the book, put it back, and then pulled it back out in some vain attempt to see if you could catch the writing while it was being written.
I was just curious if you wrote yourself. You don't have to be snarky about it. I guess she'll take a few minutes to study the story from an outside perspective.
Make an investigation check.
Natural 20.
Weirdly, you can only read about the events from your perspective. Everything as you flip through it, it's all just the things you experienced, specifically being told from your perspective.
Jack,
Yes.
would anyone who wasn't a member of the Steelhearts be able to read this?
I've never tried.
She holds the book out to him.
He grabs it, turns, flips it.
I can't read.
That Gent is a scamp. Flips through. Ooh, Titania certainly likes to party. Flips through. Lots of secrets there. Flips through. Closes the book.
Now Jack's just being a dick.
Though, to be fair, I can read anything in my own library. I don't know if anyone else would be able to, and he hands the book back.
I don't know. She puts it back on the shelf. I'm just curious because apparently I can only read the parts that I saw from my perspective.
Oh, that is how history works, isn't it?
Not once it's been written down, usually.
He just sort of smiles.
Typically speaking, history's got a
What do you
very
mean,
specific
He smiled.
perspective.
How can he change his facial expression?
You can't tell, but you can definitely tell he's smiling.
He's also
Come
got a
on,
monocle
you've
on
seen
without
Nightmare
any
Before
muscle
Christmas.
structure.
There's that
to
too,
hold it
yeah,
in place.
exactly.
Nightmare Before Christmas does not have actual skulls.
I
It
mean-
has the depiction of skulls
So,
that are not skulls because skulls don't act like that.
to be
But
fair, he's always smiling.
Also, that's exactly how you get the heads at Disneyland. By angling them different ways, they'll look more neutral or more grinning, which is how you can take pictures with them without them looking creepy and uncanny valley. Disney facts.
I mean, I just take the assumption that his skull creases like any form
Yeah,
of
like
cartoon
it-
skull that just.
He gets dimples in
mean-
the skull.
let's be clear. The Disney costume people, and they are wonderful. They are wonderful human beings. Are always creepy in costume. It doesn't
But-
matter.
They are significantly less creepy than like a Chuck E. Cheese or a Nickelodeon one would be.
Well, yes, that's because Chuck E. Cheese is one step off from Pennywise.
Anyways, Gent and Ariel, you head up left, go over and knock on the thing. The entire bookshelf slides open, and Jack Solzback is standing on the other side.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. So,
Rather
looking for
quick.
information on a lich. This way. As he walks you through into the maze-like stacks of books, finger running along the spines of books until he stops. You may find what you're looking for here, though it might not be in the context which you can appreciate.
Don't know what that last half means, but all right.
Give me investigation checks, both of you. Also, what languages do you both speak and read?
I'm an
Celestial-
Elvish giant.
Celestial, Common, Thieves' Cant isn't a written language.
I'm using my last inspiration for advantage.
I got another
God.
27.
Oh,
I am rolling like shit today.
Alright. So, 27 and 12. Again, you find several books that look like they might be talking about liches.
Mm-hmm.
And then you open them up, and they're like undead romance novels.
This archive hates me.
Ooh, lich porn.
It's more like, you know,
Bonus.
it's more like you know, the story of a man the story of a person who falls in love with somebody who's long dead, and so devotes themselves to necromancy to revive them, kind of thing.
That book from Skyrim.
Yeah, like that, but lots of it.
And then proceeds to, I'm sorry, but Craig's not here, so I have to do a lot of boning.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yes.
You didn't have to, but you
I did have to.
Ariel, on the other hand,
Yes.
you do find information on the Cracked Skull Cabal.
Okay.
It is a cabal dedicated to worship of Rethorb,
Makes sense.
the demon god of sin. Yeah, and was founded some 5,000 years ago by Raihor, a then wizard, a then human wizard who sought the immortality of lichdom and eventually obtained it. It has been in constant operation since its inception, though mostly disseminated. There's a very wide network of the Cabal has a particularly wide network for cabals. Like, most of the time, this kind of thing is like a single cult in a single town. This is one of the Shattered Skull is one of the few examples of a cabal such as this that has a multinational network.
Like
of-
individual cells.
Yeah, with
kind of
individual
thing.
cells in multiple places. No one is certain, and the information also, you know, indicates that there's no real certainty as to what their objective is. Raihor's objective was immortality via lichdom, and once attained, it's not certain what changed or, you know, if anything did.
Right.
Or what his objective might have been beyond that, other than to serve Rethorb. At the moment, there are a number of cults that have been attempting to destroy the barrier between the divine realms and the material, though they have varying levels of success, mostly involving massacring and sacrificing villages. Obviously, they haven't
Limited success, you said?
Yeah, obviously they haven't succeeded because the barrier's still there. But the book that you're reading theorizes that their efforts have resulted in a weakening of the divine barrier at the very least.
Sometimes it takes a village, man.
At the very least between the material realm and the seven hells.
Okay.
They operate. They operate in a decentralized cell structure. So any number of there's any number of leaders of individual cabals anywhere you look.
Right. Okay.
Does Ariel find anything regarding where specifically Raihor is now?
No.
Okay.
This is presented. It's presented as sort of like a historical documentarian perspective. Like, this is somebody who's just sort of documenting the events of this cabal, as opposed to somebody who has active information on them.
While I'm reading through and while this research is going on, Gent, question.
Yes.
What are you most, I guess the word would be, upset about regarding recent events? Recent event. I'm curious.
Honestly, most upsetting? Zombie fucking just sounds cold. Shuts the book, shoves it back on the shelf.
Either I missed a card or something. I'm not sure.
Sorry. I process my emotions through humor most of the time.
That's fair. So do I. So we get along. But I'm curious.
How recent are we talking? Are we talking the murder of my family? Are we talking what happened
No.
with all the cards? Are
I'm
we
talking about the cards. I understand the family thing.
I think, and I am quite willing to admit that I do not hold myself always to the same standard that I project for other people.
Acknowledged.
I understood Carolina's initial request to be the one to draw. That made an amount of logical, reasonable sense. Given that we don't know how much impulse this deck has to be drawn, I feel like it was a manageable risk to have more than one person. I will admit that what I did was, well, if I was a religious man, I'd blame impulse.
I mean, that's fair. I am a religious
And I feel
person
like
by
you're
being forced into it, and I blame impulse as well.
And I feel like yours was, it's one thing to if you're not going to take no for an answer, you should stop pretending other people should ask your permission for anything. And I realize that's a bit petty. But
I see what you're saying. I think
many people this morning made risky decisions and choices.
yes.
Only one person actively forced that. And I've butted heads with Carolina almost since she joined our little company.
Mm-hmm. You are sort of at odds about a lot of
number
things
of
by
things.
nature.
Yes.
An understandable nature.
And her background and experiences definitely color her perspectives, like anybody's. And I did shoot her in a library once, which was a bad decision that I should not have done. Yes, I'm sure you do. But that is, I think, the one standard that I can fairly safely say I apply to myself as stringently as others. Tragic backstory does not excuse shitty behavior. And the only justification I can see for what she did this morning was some level of past experience that, as far as I am aware, she was not compelled to do something against her will. And I think there comes a point when, at some level, it's almost like At the moment, I was fully prepared to wash my hands of the whole thing and let anybody who wanted to murder themselves with impunity.
Fair point.
Are the cards still sitting back there?
No, because as we had previously discussed, I have this strong opinion that your uncle or whatever is pretending to be your uncle wants something of yours, and I was not about to let those fall into the wrong hands. Titania wanted to be the person to be holding them, and I acceded.
Fair enough. That's
There is a certain amount of concern on my part because she very much wanted to just leave them there, and I do have some concern. She's just going to throw them in a garbage can somewhere.
I'll check in with her and get them resecured.
It's a fair point. I think and I say this as somebody who very much benefited from everything that went on this morning.
I don't know if I did or not.
I don't know if you did either. What was it?
Fire.
It doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound great, no, because yours
You
was
drew
a
the
key.
flames, Jack says, having been standing next to you throughout this whole conversation.
Ah! As the gun comes out instinctually because there's a talking skeleton I didn't realize was there.
Personal space, asshole.
Oh, he's not like in your face, but
but still.
He led you to the books and just remained standing there the whole time.
You'd forgotten it. Even
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's very bad.
What is the flames?
The deck of many things houses many wondrous and magical effects within it.
Can we skip
Are
to
you-
the end?
Are you saying the deck of many things has many things?
Exactly. It's an aptly named magical device. Among those are some which alter the attitudes of subjects both familiar and unfamiliar to yourself. The flames in particular makes you the most hated subject in the entire material plane to a specific devil.
The way you say a specific devil, either you know the name or literally it picks it at random?
Yes.
Yes, to which of those? That was an either or.
Yes.
I hate you.
You get a sense that he's
Well.
smiling.
Well,
Well, that's not good.
The goods and the bads of the deck of many things roughly equivocate to a 1/3 good, 2/3 bad ratio.
Well,
How
we
did we
pulled
end up-
quite well.
I would say,
You're very lucky.
apparently.
You should go to a casino.
Tried. They don't work. It doesn't work that way.
Oh.
All right, so I've got my
Carolina,
name
or
on...
is Ariel as bad at rolling dice as Jeremy is?
I mean, I imagine she has fairly general luck, which in a casino is bad luck because the casino is
The game is rigged, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
All right, well,
Yes. In order for the deck to accommodate, for example, providing the flames to 7 individuals, then it would be 7 different specific devils.
I see.
right,
And when
'cause you
we
can't
say
be...
devil, I'm going to assume that Ghent has probably not attracted the eternal hatred of Steve the Imp.
Well, there is a level of random variety. I know of one particular individual who drew the flames and ended up having a imp peeing in his coffee every morning for the rest of his life. But aside from that, typically they are beings of some amount of power relative to your own.
Good news, Ghent. You're hated by a dretch. No.
If a farmer were to draw the flames, the devil that drew their ire could very well be an imp. But if an adventurer of some might and renown draws their flames, then the devil will be equivocally more powerful.
Well, your
So I've
uncle
drawn
has a
the-
friend now.
I have drawn the enmity of a marginally powerful devil who has had a windfall inheritance recently and carries with him a group of allied devils who sometimes have his back and sometimes assault him for his possessions.
I don't think it will be Mary,
Ah,
but
I see you've been reading The Damned and the Restless, he says, pulling a book off the shelf and handing it to you.
all I'm saying is either one of two things. Either your uncle
Hmm.
really doesn't like you now, or more likely, your uncle has a new friend.
Yes, or at least an ally of circumstance.
Or perhaps they both hate each other as well, and they will kill each other trying to get at you, but I feel like that's not going to be likely.
That would be far too clean for the deck, I think.
That would be far too convenient, yes.
All right, well, if it had to be somebody, might as well be me.
I would suggest investing in some means of detecting invisibility, because imps can make themselves invisible at any and all times.
I am
Hmm.
contractually, for the sake of my well-being, required at this point to say no. It had not best be you, because otherwise, when this story is related to your partners, they're going to yell at me a lot for not putting you on notice for that. So consider yourself yelled at.
Yes. All right. Well,
Blah blah blah.
Cut to Ithram. So Ithram,
Yes.
you go down the stairs, which going down these stairs then leads you to the top balcony of another further deeper library, which is kind of spatially confusing just because you went down and ended up higher feeling than you were previously. But as you sort of get to the rail and sort of lean on it and look down and see the floor, to your left, Jack is there. So, looking for specific information on religious documentation.
Yes. A handful of subjects that apparently fit in this section.
Specifically?
Perhaps shards of Eidos, any past interactions on the material plane, if you have any records of that.
Certainly.
For now.
It leads you down a couple floors in this sub-library.
Cast enhanceability on myself as I walk down the stairs.
Sub-archive, and guides you to a section of books. Make an investigation check.
All right.
So,
I have an inspiration I'm going to use.
Okay.
So I'll just reroll one. Right? Just reroll one.
Yeah. Roll another d20, and you can pick, basically.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. Not advantage again. Just 21.
I'm assuming you're taking the 21.
Yes. No, I like that 12.
So you find a few bits of documentation specifically regarding the appearance of shards of Eidos at some 10,000 years ago. It talks about how shards of Eidos are individual pieces of Eidos given form when that sort of something. It goes to a little bit of backstory about how Eidos destroys and creates the material world, which is news to you, so congratulations.
Yep.
And then it also talks about how during the most recent creation, Eidos got stuck. And when Eidos got stuck, bits of her broke off and fell into the material plane. These, from all the documentation, resulted in sentient creatures that were aspects of Eidos walking the plane. It talks about how one of them was sealed away in a soul stone, and others were killed or sacrificed were ritually sacrificed in order to power up another one, the one that got sealed away in the soul stone, and how sort of a concentrated mass of them created basically a demigod at one point. there are bits of detail, but there are bits and pieces of detail on others throughout the decades who, came into some level of power prior to or sorry, during their lives, prior to realizing what they were, what their nature was. Shards of Eidos are inherently destructive, not necessarily maliciously destructive, but like as you're reading, it's like through all of the the narratives, it's like they come into power and they end up destroying things around them, either intentionally or unintentionally. It just happens.
Yeah.
Eidos cannot exist in a living world because her presence destroys the world. So fragments of her do the same.
Okay. And when was the most recent
The most recent
discovery of somebody that
the most recent
exhibited these?
Yeah, the most recent recorded shard of Eidos was about 2,000 years ago.
Okay. And where was that one located?
In the lands that then sorry, it wasn't 2,000. It was about 5,000 years ago, in the lands that are now known as the Shattered Lands.
Okay.
Prior to them being shattered.
Okay. Yeah, I believe I found the reason why, or at least an explanation. Okay. Jack's still around.
Yeah, he's standing right next to you the whole time.
And then
you sort of look up and see the skeleton, like.
Yes. Do you have? You said that tomes on the True Library were also in this section.
Indeed. You'll find them under and he sort of points over, the Doctrine of the Elemental Chaos.
All right, then.
Give me another investigation check.
I have one more inspiration. I'll use it.
Okay. With another d20 roll.
$26.
So you find a lot of conjecture. You find a lot of the sort of the theorem of the true library sort of repeated over and over again.
Yeah.
But you also find that at least one theological scholar indicates that they have either confirmed or have actually visited the place themselves. Like they either confirmed it exists or have. It's hard to parse because it's like academic jargon.
Yeah.
But through whatever their experience it is, they determine that it is most likely that the true library is an aspect of the elemental chaos. It is an aspect of them given form. And so anything found within it would be born of the elemental chaos. Okay. So it talks about the library that this person found was perfectly intact, but was completely empty. There was nobody in it. There were no people. There were no thing. It was just endless books on magical theorem, and a horde of magical artifacts. Within the astral plane, they claim, and yeah, it's just they seem to be firmly of the mind that it is the origin point of all magic formula, and because of and the reason it is that it's because it is an aspect of the elemental chaos.
Okay. Cool. No other nobody else mentioned.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Like that?
That's the only thing more specific you get other than the theorem. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Meanwhile, because this is taking several hours of you guys reading,
right?
Titania, what are you doing?
Well, Carolina, you said you were going somewhere? Oh, that's Aaron steps away. Sorry.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Ugh.
Are you okay? You seem kind of different, and you grabbed a powerful magical thing that you warned us all very specifically several times to never grab under any circumstances.
I don't know why I grabbed it.
Okay. Are you feeling possessed? Or
I'm definitely still me.
okay.
So I guess
That's
that's what something possessing me would say. But if something's possessing me and is this bad at acting in character, it deserves to get caught.
I don't think it would know all that stuff about you.
Yeah.
Either.
Have I really never mentioned it in passing before?
I don't think so. I don't remember. I mean, maybe I don't remember it. My memory's not that great.
For some reason, I assumed I'd made it clear after I went back there the second time.
The second time? There was the time after with Gent shooting at you and that thing. Was there a second time? I'm not remembering the second time. Sorry. Memories get mixed up.
Aside from when I left, I first went back there from your great uncle's portal.
Oh, that
I
time.
didn't
Okay.
arrive back in the material plane with all of you.
Got it. That's right. I remember
And
that bit. Okay, that was connected. Okay.
And I will pull out it's an orb, right, John? The teleportation
it's like a baseball-sized crystal.
Cool.
I can use this to go back, or at least I've been able to before, and there's no reason the magic doesn't work.
You could put it in a cool staff.
It's attuned to the correct plane, and it's a weird kind of magic. That's not important. That's not important. Trains of thought are hard.
Yeah. I get that.
Feels like I've been cursed by impulse. Anyways.
But you're not cursed. Do you want me to
Doubt
try just in case?
If you want to blow your money, sure. But I was thinking... There's nothing to find there, though. It's not like I can take anyone along. But...
You can't take objects, though.
Can take objects. That's not really...
Does that include, like, animals and stuff, or not?
I mean, like, you can take things... Like, you could... Like, for instance, you can take the bag of holding with you. Things like that. So, like...
Yeah, but people don't go in bags of holding.
I mean, not if you want them to live for more than 10 minutes.
What if I held my breath? Or was...
That seems like an incredibly poor decision. But
it's been 12 poor decisions today, so you know.
I would die. I would die of people who would not be happy with that decision. I'm not sticking you in a bag of holding so that I can transport you to another plane of existence, especially because that plane of existence is tied to my magic, and my magic also created this bag of holding.
Yeah. Okay. Do you still want to go back?
I don't know. I just want to... I don't think Gent is really the type to communicate via punching, but I need to convince him, because no one else seems to be quite as stupid about it, that this isn't just, oh, Carolina wants green wolves or a yellow dress just because those are the preferred things. It's...
I'm talking to you about it right now, so, you know, hey.
Yeah, I don't know.
Make an insight check, Tanya.
Sure. 19.
So it's not like it is. Carolina isn't voicing opinions that Carolina didn't already have.
Uh-huh.
But Carolina is voicing them at a much louder volume and more frequently than Carolina
Yes.
ever has.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
You're pretty certain that whatever the card that seemed to do nothing has apparently flipped some switch in Carolina's brain that has turned off the restraint aspect of Carolina's personality.
You've got no filter.
Yes, and it's frustrating. And when I get frustrated, things explode. So that's not great.
Okay. Well, usually when this may be stupid, but usually when you get drunk, you do not have a filter anymore. So possibly this is a reverse situation. I don't know.
Because you become a quiet drunk.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's go get drinks.
Okay. I'm gonna start there.
That seems like it might solve the problem. Being an alcoholic is better than this.
Narrator voice. It will not solve the problem.
I mean, it's not better than this, but it's something to start with, and you seem in distress.
Yes.
So,
Alcohol seems like a good solution. Let's go.
so you two go and find a bar. The rest of you, are you doing any other reading than what you've already found?
I mean, eventually Valdeth will find the rest of them
Yeah.
after going through the book a bit.
I will. So
It takes you a while to read the book because it was a lot of events.
Yeah. 32 episodes.
Yeah. 32 chapters and counting.
I will eventually. I believe I've found what we're looking for.
Just in the off chance that there's something, he's just going to see if there's any stray scrolls or magic formula or anything like that laying around. Or in any of the tomes.
Give me an investigation check.
All right. $22.
No. As you look around, as you sort of go through book to book, this is mostly historical documentation and fiction.
Okay.
Like, there's not really any formula. From what you read, the True Library would probably have dozens of formula if you could get to
Oh,
it.
yeah. He did. Reading that book, whoever made it there didn't leave or didn't record if they brought anything back with them so that they could plane shift to it.
They weren't ever able to get back, but they were able to bring stuff from it. It does talk about how they brought a spell book back from the library. But they were never able to get back no matter what they tried, according to what you read. Okay, so the group of you reconvene at the front desk.
So what'd you learn?
I was going to inform Gent before that.
Oh, okay. So sorry, going back. Sorry.
I think I found what we're looking for.
Excellent.
At least some of it. Their Rithorian cabal. Big surprise there.
Sense.
Here's the problem. Because we're trying to eventually track this down to Rhyhor himself, right?
I mean, I don't feel like it's the sort of artifact one would pass around your cabal just to see who's loyal.
No, not typically. I would imagine not. It is a very city-based, cell-based cult without a decentralized leader, without a centralized leadership hierarchy, apparently.
So not the sort of thing where you knock over one cabal and shake them until they tell you who's in charge and will just work your way up the chain.
Exactly.
Right?
They are trying to apparently tear down the walls between the divine and material planes.
See, they always try and do things like that and never... I honestly don't know what that would really change. Unless you're able to tear it down specifically so that only your god can get through and nobody else, then it's just the same thing over again, just in this dimension rather than all of those.
Right. I mean, it would be bad regardless.
Right. It would absolutely suck here.
It
But,
would be apocalyptic, frankly. I'm sure they have their reasons.
well, yes, if war is a game and the ultimate conflict is never fully settled, so it's always just simply a state. But what sort of psychopath would just be like, I want to play the game on a new map now? That sounds absurd.
I don't know. Maybe one who, I mean, for all we know, Raiho might be maybe actually trapped behind,
Yes. So,
trapped
but
in the divine realm.
all right. So we have a cabal that was founded a long time ago that's probably trying to tear down the barrier between the
Right.
divine and the material. Okay.
A large series of cults in probably every city we come across of a decent size.
Here's a thought. We know that, so they are dispersed, but one could probably assume that those who are closer to Rhyhor probably have better or more information. I know we have a necromancer to take care of outside Grifftop, which is probably
Indeed.
step one. And if we're
Indeed.
very, very lucky, there might be some linkage or further information there. If there's not, last reports had Rhyhor somewhere in the Shattered Isles, Shattered Lands. We go to the largest city close to there and see if we can find a Shattered Skull Cabal there, since they're at least geographically marginally more contiguous.
It's the best idea I've got, yeah. Hopefully, our necromancer will be some help.
Yes. All right. Well, that's at least a vector. Now I get to explain to my girlfriends that I've captured the attention of a very, very powerful devil who's going to probably stop at nothing until I'm incinerated.
I
I'd
will say
suggest
I-
you do it over drinks.
Would you stop doing that? I
Do you get out often?
understand that you are a perfectly
Take
normal
relationship advice from
animated
a skull.
skeleton, but I have bad reactions to necromancy as a whole.
Good news, this isn't necromancy.
If it looks like necromancy, it doesn't matter if it is necromancy, dear.
What is it then?
Divinity.
Not better.
Also,
It's true. You're only slightly less allergic to that.
I'm omnipresent within the library, so there's not really anywhere you can go that I won't hear.
Then why do you need to be standing right there?
It's fun.
I
Ariel, we
fucking
should
hate
probably.
gods. Let's go.
Not a god, demigod.
Oh, like Weaveborn.
6 of one, a half dozen of the other. Let's go.
So you all you reconvene and in front of the central desk. Jack doesn't follow you, but he's there already.
So, reiterating, what'd you learn?
Yeah.
And we'll need a group
Mo-
meeting
more
in
dump.
order to.
Yeah.
Yep.
I info dump.
Do you mention that you learned some of the effects of the cards at all?
I don't.
Nope. Not yet.
Darn.
That is not my information to reveal.
Darn.
Ithram, do you share what you've learned?
Yeah. Yeah, he'll share quite a bit of it, and then yes, crap, I just forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, no, he'll just share it.
I will an additional piece of information that may be relevant. The person that claims to have been to the True Library was intentionally seeking it out and found it very difficult to get there. as opposed to like accidentally wandered into it.
So they were intentionally seeking it out and
they
then found
were,
it.
They were intentionally seeking it out, found it, and then couldn't ever get back to it.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll mention that as well. Actually, no, he's going to keep the stuff to the True Library, about the True Library, to himself for now. And then share everything about the Shards of Eidos. And apparently, before the Divine Realms were blocked off from the material, Eidos used to destroy the material plane in cycles. And at some point during the last cycle, she was prevented from doing so.
Well, that fucking sucks.
Yes, also...
Which part? The part where she
The
consumed...
part of destroying planes and rebuilding them. Can you imagine how much it would fucking
I just
suck?
wanted to check.
So the elemental chaos is the one that does the
said
rebuilding.
that after this.
Yes,
you said that immediately after the, and then someone stopped her. So I was a little confused there for a moment.
I didn't want to cut him off. I mean,
fair.
just imagine being the people who are alive when it's time to reboot the world.
That would be terrifying, yes. Especially, I could not even imagine. But not all of Eidos was locked on the other side. Shards, obviously, like the one in the frontier, happen, but there are also occasionally human.
That's a secret, by the way, Jack. Don't tell anybody.
Creatures, individuals that are born with aspects of a Shard of Eidos that are inherently destructive, and whether intentionally or not, destroy things. It appears that is how the Shattered Isles were formed. That
Speaking
was
of
not
destroying things.
Yes.
Sorry to cut you off. I was reading our story again. Because,
Yes,
by the way, the book on the Steelhearts is literally our story, being written as it happens. But I was reminded, we need to talk to Adam.
Yes, that was my immediate thoughts as well, because he, from what I've read, every trait he has very similar to Eidos. And
I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about he might be the only person who can get that fucking deck of cards off our hands.
I would not want to be near that when that theory
I
was
wouldn't want
tested.
to be near that, but I think he could.
It's a possibility, but with what Ariel and you two have shared, I have an odd idea. If they have a soul stone with... Did Argal say that there's already a Shard of Eidos in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they have a soul stone with the Shard of Eidos, previous iterations, the previous iterations of these individuals were ritually sacrificed to enhance one other shard. If this is a shard that has, if this shard has that individual in it, they may be trying to, if they find out about Adam, they could give that soul a physical body and further their plans, whatever they may be. And if this individual, we do not know the power of them, but if they were ritually sacrificing other shards, it would be safe to say it's not benevolent.
I mean, you also found out, correct me if I'm wrong, John, that the person who was sacrificing other shards to empower themselves got locked in a soul stone.
Yes,
Yeah, that's what he
if
said.
they're Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
If this cabal has that soul stone, they may be able to put that transfer that soul into another shard, or they may try to sacrifice Adam in some other ritual that we do not know.
That'd be bad, yes.
Why?
And if what we've seen from Adam is just a shard of what, I mean, obviously Eidos destroyed planes, but if any individual gained a modicum of that power, that would be, I don't know how to describe it.
Catastrophic's a word that comes to mind.
It doesn't, it's a very good descriptor. I don't think it encapsulates the whole oh fuck that one that realizes that kind of situation happening.
I mean, yes, true. There's no word for a disaster so great that the entirety of existence is threatened by it.
Apocalypse?
Apocalyptic. I already said that.
See, that sort of implies
Anyways.
there would be something afterwards to come back to.
Anyways, but yes, we should
Yeah.
at least check on Adam.
Less so. There's no Norse myth here.
No, that's Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. Well,
Are
we
you
probably
ready-
should get
Fallout
this
here.
information to everybody.
are you ready to leave then? Jack asks.
Yes.
I think so.
Regrettably, yes.
Very
I
well.
wouldn't.
I will show you out. Do me a favor and tell my great niece that I said hello.
Who's your great niece?
He indicates over to the nameplate on his desk, which you read says Jack Sulzbach Valkorian.
Oh no, fucking what?
Well then.
He sort of waves his skeletal hand, and then there's a door in front of all your faces. As you're on the steps
I don't know
outside
if there's
the
anything
archive.
preventing you, but you're probably invited to the wedding. He's already gone.
Oh my god, this is not good. Your wedding is going to be
It's gonna be
nuts
great.
If anyone comes. If anyone you're related to shows up, it will be a very weird.
That'll be a
Early
story.
ear
for some
sending
fun.
to Titania. Where can we find you?
How drunk are we at this point?
Give me Constitution saving throws, both of you.
All right.
Can I make it with disadvantage because I've been drinking very heavily?
Sure, go ahead.
Titania's not drinking as much. She's trying to keep an eye on Carolina because stuff's happening. But con
I mean, I
save,
can't roll much lower than that.
18.
Carolina's drunk. Titania, you're getting there.
Okay, all right.
So, I never asked you.
Hmm?
Why engaged?
What do you mean? It's kind of how it happens.
Yeah, but you don't need to stay that way. You're fast at everything else, and you clearly want this. Why engaged?
Because that's where we are right now. I'm not. Scuzz said that too. I'm not fast at it. This is like, it's weird, and I don't quite know how things are gonna go from like day to day with it. But it's working so far, and I'm very happy, and I like saying it.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like.
But other people are a new concept to me, so.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want to like put because like I don't want to like push either of them into something that they will regret. So this is where we are right now, and that'll hopefully change.
Do you think they'll regret it?
I've broken up with a few people. I'm like 100. Over 100. I think I turned 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Ghent
I
doesn't
was-
have 100 years.
No.
No,
You all are
Gint has
very
Gint's
Besides,
a half elf. He's got a couple 100 years.
getting married isn't any more permanent than getting engaged.
It feels a little bit. I don't know. They're going to take my name.
Yeah.
I'm a Valkorian. I don't know.
Doesn't Val also keep her own name?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I might take hers.
Stone,
names are
Stone,
names.
Stonebeard Valkorian has a good ring to it.
I have several names. Some of them I still go by. I had a baby name.
Carolina
a
will
middle
rattle off Titania's entire official title
name.
by heart, unprompted.
You're missing one.
Oh?
Yeah. I had a childhood name. I was real little.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It was bee, like a bumblebee. Anyway, that's how I'm gonna know if you're a parasite or not inside of there. Like, circle around your eyeballs. Because that's a secret. So,
Okay.
yep. Get knows that. No one else. Anyway, are you feeling better?
I'm feeling drunk, which is definitely an improvement.
Okay.
Seriously, where can we find you? You can respond to this, you know.
We're at a bar.
Why are you so naggy?
No, that was only to Titania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She did say that out loud, but like reply.
Right.
I feel like before getting drunk, Carolina would have gotten the table that has enough space for everyone.
All right,
I
so
like
I know
it.
precisely where to find them. They're at a bar.
That's a really precise description.
Isn't it, though?
I suppose we could just walk down the bars and find the one that's got the loudest people in it.
I just want you to know that you're still you, even if you feel different.
I
'Cause
know.
I don't know if this is like
I know.
it's not the same as Ariel but like we all are kind of changing as all of this stuff goes on. I've been sober for like 3 days in a row.
Sorry to break your streak,
That's okay.
but you also... It feels like I'm doing the thing you're doing when your season changes.
Okay, got it. That,
It feels like how that looks from the outside.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit. If you're not used to it, I can sort of change mine if I concentrate a bit. Because, like, you're you right now, right? And you're usually all kind of uptight and stuff. You can
I'm
still be
usually
uptight if you try,
professionally
probably.
responsible.
Uh-huh.
I just got promoted. I'm
I
gonna
know.
lose my job.
Congratulations. This is the celebration of that. A little bit. Also getting drunk. It's okay. I think you could switch back if you wanted to. Like if you sort of keep leaning against it. Yeah, I sort of like get in moods sometimes. Sometimes I'll get in a funk and be like cold for days. But you sort of shift. I don't know. It's up to you. I don't think I should tell you what to be. That's not good. That's not being a good friend.
It's not hard to find the trail of the giant purple-haired person wearing very little and the Eladrin. Within a few minutes, you find the two of them.
Ah, there you are.
Hi!
Oh dear.
They're both drunk.
Hey, another round.
Yep, one round. Right here for all of us. How'd the studying go?
I found a book about us, like the Steelhearts.
Oh,
And
someone's
your
writing a book about us?
great uncle says hello. He's apparently the proprietor.
I have another uncle? Okay.
His name is Jack Salzback Valkorian, apparently.
Do I try and think back? I
No
don't
idea where that is
remember.
on the family tree now.
Okay.
Is that any part of that name familiar to me?
Nope.
Okay.
Cool.
He's a skeleton.
Hey, Ishram.
We're all skeletons inside.
I'm trying to
That
think
is
of
the-
how to put a portal inside of a portal without putting a portal inside of a portal.
You cannot do that. That
Yeah.
never ends
Jeez.
well.
Can't do that.
Shifting.
Wait.
Like when I do with the season stuff. She's kind of
I have a magic hangover from the deck of many things that definitely everything's different, but not me. I'm probably not possessed or cursed.
mm-mm.
How many glasses are next to Carolina?
Carolina
Or do they
shifts
just-
and like 4 fall over. There's a small
Yeah,
pile.
Changing seasons. I need to talk to you about that,
seen-
Titania. Can you, just a minute?
Sure? Uh-huh.
Take Titania's seat and sit next to Carolina.
And Gent drags Valdeth and Titania off to a corner.
I
In Blood Blockade, it's kind of like the change shot glass.
Yeah.
Try-
Ariel, what
Jeremy.
were you doing?
I take a seat just with everybody, and I'm just sort of not eavesdropping, but keeping an eye on the trio.
So Valdeth, Titania, and Gent, you are moved to one side.
Your great uncle was kind enough to tell me what the card I drew meant.
Oh. Okay.
It's very, very bad.
Okay.
Apparently the card with all the flames on it means that I have attracted the eternal, undying, and primary enmity of an extraordinarily powerful devil from one of the hell dimensions. Which I realize sounds like just a worse version of what I already have going on, but it's a worse version of what I already have going on.
Ariel, make a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay.
And the only thing that I'm going to call you stupid for is not asking what the rest of the cards did.
15.
There is a silhouette moving. You can only tell, like, it's some sort of invisible creature that is above Gent. You can only tell because of the way the light passes through it as it moves.
Without even a moment's consideration, I pull my gun and I shoot directly over Gent's head at it.
Are you going to use the divine targeting?
You goddamn right I am.
So your advantage counteracts the disadvantage of shooting at an invisible creature. So flat roll with the Emperor's Virtue.
That would be
Hey!
an 18 because I rolled a 6.
It's pretty high.
That's gonna hit. Roll damage.
Oops. Sorry, I was trying to click on something. And
So, yeah.
apparently it
That
did that.
would be do I mean I assume I get sneak attack. I assume it wasn't anticipating being shot at.
Sneak attack doesn't matter in this case, because that
I just killed an imp.
yeah. The three of you jump as a gunshot goes off, and
the finger of the profane is out.
and a suddenly visible dead imp hits the ground next to
Our metal
Gent.
greatsword.
I reach over,
shriek.
I grab one of Carolina's shots, and I hold it up to toast to the three and knock it back.
Valdeth looks over, nods. Apparently, he's watching you already. Sword goes away.
Is it dissolving or falling into smoke or anything like that? I don't know how you're
I was gonna say,
I'm
yeah, no,
looking
Gent would
around
be
to see
picking up
who's
the corpse.
familiar just got toasted because I don't
Yeah.
know what the fuck
Actually,
actually.
can I do a thing? Because it died in front of me. I don't know if
It
this counts.
is currently bubbling away like it's been dumped in acid.
Oh,
Oh, okay, then he's not gonna pick it up.
darn it.
Is there enough form that I can get a good of its particular, like just set in my mind of its physical features
Give me an
and the
intelligence.
particulars of its
Give me an intelligence check with disadvantage.
intelligence check? Okay, well
This doesn't. count
that's
as
gonna be a
humanoid, right?
thing.
Yeah.
Because you're trying.
Can I do like a perception for other things going on?
Sure, with disadvantage because you're currently.
Dis-
drunk.
You're trying to memorize
However,
the face of someone you just shot before.
I will probably be using my inspiration. I will let you know after I see what my rolls are.
Go ahead.
That would be an 8 with disadvantage.
People are reacting to the imp that just got shot, but the imp got shot and died, so they're not really panicking all that much because, like, oh, a thing got killed. Okay, this is an adventuring town.
You know what? I will stick with my 16.
So long as it wasn't a
it's
humanoid, they don't
probably
really
pretty
care.
good.
Gent, what was that 18 for?
I needed to get Gent's relative conception of magical items. I'm going to need to get a robe of eyes.
Ariel. Yeah, you can memorize what that particular imp looks like before it goes away.
Okay.
What's that do?
It lets you see invisible things.
So Valdeth looks down at it. But no, again, the only stupid decision that was, I mean, drawing the card was stupid, but everyone was doing it. I can't blame you specifically for that. The only stupid thing that I can blame you for right now is you didn't ask him what the rest of them do.
I have the deck.
Could I have it back, please?
I was gonna try and trade you for it.
Oh, what were you going to trade me?
The handkerchief.
Wow.
Valdeth looks
Do you
between the two
promise
of them.
not to
But
go
I pull it
through the-
out.
Okay.
I hand it over.
I'll tell you what. Anytime you want to use the handkerchief, you simply let me know and we'll do it together. All right?
Okay.
A whole new world, literally.
Literally, yeah.
Oh god, everything's on fire.
Fuck, now I want to go back and ask Jack what the rest of the cards in the fucking deck do, now that I know he knows.
We should get back to Taram though, because I have to
should.
pick up I have to. Ooh,
You do have people
oh,
waiting
well.
for you to go head to
Yeah.
Cliff Top.
Yeah,
They
we
need
should
to
maybe
wait
go.
until it stops raining, which it's not going to do.
No,
For
no.
months.
But we did tell them we'd be back we did tell them we'd be back today. There's
I
no
have
telling what sort of damage gets done to whatever that town is south of the Grifftop the longer we let the undead just
Yeah.
rampage around it.
We do need to do that as immediately as possible.
Yeah, but I don't feel
I
like
think-
it's terribly long to walk back to the archive.
Does it's dangerous. We can.
I feel like knowing what the fuck happened to everyone and what danger someone else drawing might pull might be smart.
It doesn't change the danger though, because
It doesn't, but we know what we're looking, what we need to be afraid of.
Or, here's a thought. Nobody draws from it again until we have time to come back and talk to Jack.
There we go.
Fair, but
Also,
how certain do you think you can make that happen?
I'm getting my own bag of holding and I'm going to have a password on it.
All right.
Cool. Anyway,
Get you a passworded bag of holding.
It's just 1, 2, 3, 4.
0, 0, 0, 0.
3, 4,
Yeah.
5. That's the same password in my luggage.
go. I think we should go back though. To Ram.
You realize how easy passworded bag of holdings are to defeat, right?
We're at the bar.
Yes. So am I.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
the three of
they-
them, three of them are
yeah.
ways off.
We are elsewhere in the bar.
Yeah.
A little ways off, having.
A whispered conversation, more or less.
There are also, like, you can hear the sound of guards, like, gathering because a thing was shot, so someone did report to the guard.
Yeah. Maybe
There
we
was an
should
imp stalking someone. Someone
head
got it.
Oh, yeah,
out
no, like,
before
you're unlikely
know.
to get into any trouble for it, but there are guards coming if you want to not waste time getting questioned.
thing about not causing trouble in the city and stuff. It's okay though.
If we want to get back, we can get back. I just don't like having unknowns, and that deck is a massive unknown, especially now when we don't know what's in it.
There's loads of unknowns.
Yeah, we're carrying an unknown explosive device.
Why do I feel like I'm being left out of the being wrapped into the things you guys learned in the library?
Because it involved the library, and the last time we mentioned the library, you did not react well.
I have gone to libraries with you in Taram.
And you did not enjoy it then either.
No, I don't like them. I just don't want one in my house.
To be perfectly fair, a good part of the reason that Carolina did not like our last experience at the library was she was shot.
That is a fair reason to not enjoy that particular trip to a library. Also, you have imbibed quite a few alcoholic drinks, and you may not, you may receive the information better once we are also in not so public a space.
Titania thinks that drinking solves the problem with my impulse control not existing anymore.
The sound of
so-
marching boots gets louder.
Let's head out.
It's fine, I'm a cop.
Not
Wait,
here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and usher the group together and out the door.
I will be sure to pay my tab.
Carolina right now currently has the same mindset that led one of my exes to getting absolutely plastered while she had the flu, to tell one of my friends when they questioned it, well, when you get a cut on your outside, you get you put rubbing alcohol on it, right? Well, this is like I have a cut on the inside.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have heard that
It's
exact
not good
logic before.
Yeah.
Bad logic.
It's bad logic, but I have
drunk
heard
logic.
that.
To be
I have
fair,
heard that
No.
exact logic.
she is a
before.
lot more chill right now than she was earlier.
This is true.
It's good logic. It's not valid logic.
Not how that works.
It's the line of the logic path is good.
Yeah.
It's still not good logic.
I am trying to usher the group out
Yeah.
the door.
Well,
I will say
You
to
usher
Carolina,
everyone out.
Yep.
I can get you sober again real quick though too. by the
It's
way.
just a couple. It's just like 5 copper or actually no, for the amount of drinks you had, it's like 3 silver. But you pay your tab, you leave before the guard get there. Presumably, Ithram finds you a nice quiet spot to cast teleportation circle.
Yep.
And
I
you,
expend the chalks and stuff that I need to, and then cast. And all right, time to go. Oh,
Wait, hang on.
where's the wheelbarrow?
I don't know.
Oh, you parked it out front.
I cast.
Yes, I've got
Lesser-
it. I've got it.
Yeah, I cast lesser restoration on myself and Carolina. You don't want to go through teleportations with alcohol. It's not good.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
the slight delay between your blood alcohol content arriving and your physical form arriving does tend to cause vomiting.
yeah, so I'm gonna make sure we're good there because I have that experience.
I like that apparently regular bodies and volatile liquids teleport at very
Yeah.
slightly different rates.
Very
Yeah.
slightly. It's just enough of
Like-
a lag to make you throw up every time.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You're
we're
sober,
back
you're
in
stone cold sober for a split second, and then you're full drunk again right afterwards.
And the sudden change is what makes you throw up.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, it's the shock.
So you lesser restoration, the two of you.
Yep.
You're no longer drunk. You teleport back to Taram. You arrive in a very similar looking building to the one that you had arrived in Core, though this time the person sitting at the desk reading a book is dressed in the very similar, like the sort of the light blue and purple pants and tunic that the Weaveborn Academy issue. So they look up at you.
Greetings.
Welcome to the Teleportation Circle. If you'll just sign in there. Just pointing at the book, the log book.
Yep.
That signs in on
Fill out the ledger.
On the ledger.
Yep.
Make sure everything's good, and you go on through. That's how they get you on taxes, so that they can pay for the upkeep of the teleportation circle. I mean,
It
teleportation
costs
circles.
that much to upkeep a teleportation circle.
Yeah,
No, it does. It doesn't cost that much, but it still has costs.
yeah.
Occasionally we have to drive a chisel into these lines again to make sure they don't fade.
Make sure the magic stays.
You have a 20-cent tax.
It's like
Gen-
it's not even that.
Gens-
It's like a 5-cent tax.
Would Gent need to roll a D100 to see if he can find his desired magical item between here and our Griff house?
Give me a D100. Actually, roll a D100 with disadvantage because you're trying to find it on the way.
Okay. I'll just roll it twice. 5. That's probably the lower one. 10. They're both horrible.
You do not find a robe of eyes or
Okay.
a knave's eye patch.
Okay.
On the way down.
Yeah, well.
But Isram said he could do stuff with like making you undetectable. Maybe.
Right now, I can render areas undetectable. There is a spell that I can, if I can find it, I can make an individual undetectable for about 8 hours. But there are also items that do the same thing, but for indefinite amounts of time.
Well, and I'm more thinking on the market of if I want to be able to see them coming, because they're going to be coming. No matter how well I try to hide, I don't think that's going to be a defense that I'll be able to rely on terribly well. I just want to be able to see them coming as well,
Okay.
at least as best I could.
Things of seeing invisible things. If we
More
can
or
find
less.
those.
That spell I do not know yet either.
You eventually get back to the company house.
I can check blind sense and stuff.
It is still raining, obviously.
Ithram is, while it's raining, he's using shape water to make an umbrella to just around. Since illusionist
Cool.
bracers,
Yeah, you
just
just
That's
instantly
really
like
cool.
Just double cantripping shape water over and over again.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Realize if you got prestidigitation, you could clean 2 things at once.
Yes, but this
Your arms are getting
The more
tired.
you
This
pest-
is kind of
The
cool.
like the somatic components do mean that your arms are getting tired.
Yeah, to keep up the
I
windmill
gotta-
motion, just
Right, just water
got a
bending its
14.
way down.
right? Yeah, I got a 14 strength and a 16 constitution. I think I can make it to the walk home.
But that also includes the stops as Git like pokes his head into a couple magic shops, looks around.
Hey, you got it. Never mind. Keep going.
You stop by.
Hey, I'm looking for something that okay.
You,
Never mind.
you stop by that one shop with the really long neon sign, the plant on the counter. They don't have it.
Right. These fuckers don't even have it. Jesus.
But eventually
We
you
need
get
more
back.
shelves. No, I'm just kidding.
Eventually you get back to the house.
have the scroll. They have the scroll of see invisibly, but not see invisibility.
They also have a scroll of See Amelie, and you don't know what that means.
I want that scroll.
you get back to the house. Alistar Green is sort of standing at one of the windows, going, "You know, you'd think they'd run out of water eventually."
Oh no.
This is a mountain town. The rain either is or isn't, depending on which side of the mountain you're on.
You know, I never really thought about it before, but we're downriver, so we get some rain, but not this much.
It's nice. It sounds nice.
Yeah, depending on which side of the mountain you're on and which side of the ocean the mountain is on, it's either always raining in the rainy season or it's never raining. Ever.
But it rains less with less
Titania's gonna-
intensity.
Yeah.
Because
Also, I've decided
the storm, like
She's exaggerating. But
the weather does pass over the mountains eventually. It's just by the time it gets to the other side of the mountain, it's like less than a quarter of intensity. So
yeah.
Titania's gonna ask if anyone, because she had stopped by her brothers to see if they wanted to that they were gonna send some swords or something. Make sure she.
yeah,
had
there's
those
a
before we
package on the table when you get in, and it's a pair of swords that are sort of bundled up. Scuzz, meanwhile, could we buy me some clothes?
left.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Having been
yeah.
wrapped in a towel basically this entire time.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I didn't want to be a bother, but you know, I mean, if we're gonna be traveling and it's gonna be raining and it's gonna be cold, I should probably have like a hat at least.
Do you
need a
feel
dry
cold anymore?
towel. Yeah.
No, but I mean, still.
Yeah, let's get you some clothes.
That was affected by the exhaustion during the desert thing, right?
No, Scuzz can get exhausted.
Okay.
He gets exhausted every time he casts a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's true.
Carolina will. Also, necromancy doesn't necessarily provide full insulation from elemental.
Yeah,
Exposure.
it's very easy to get.
Scuzz could
Scuzz some
probably
clothes.
still get frostbite.
Yeah, you do learn that Scuzz
Yes.
has no money at all whatsoever anymore. Like
Yeah.
Eh.
Titania will get a full set of clothes.
you've also, if you go up to Scuzz's room is bare. It's completely barren. There is nothing in there. This is weird.
It's a good thing you're moving out. Oh, you lost all those shelves.
Only one of them belonged to Scuzz. Here, Scuzz, you can have mine.
Tunk.
There you go.
Gent goes
There is
pale
now
for a minute
a shelf in the room.
and then goes looking for scum.
Oh.
That
Was
feels like
scum
a
at the
thing
house?
that we need to table until the character who is.
Oh yeah. No,
Players.
he's just gonna go looking just to see.
Scum is outside because Scum is a friend, not property.
Okay, good.
Good.
Animals are not possessions in the same way.
Otherwise, your druid would be fucked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rangers lose all their moral high ground ever. Which, granted, is not real high as it is because
Right.
the Ranger companion concept is basically if you die, get a new one. It's fine.
Yeah, I
Right.
hate that part.
Thanks, wizards.
But yeah, no, the Scum is fine because Scum is not
Right.
property. Scum is a friend.
Okay. Gent will, for the first time in his life, voluntarily touch Scum and just bring him up and put him in whatever room that Scuzz is in,
Oh yeah. You guide Scum back up. You cut your hand comes away. It's like
and then go wash his hands.
it's like a weird film on your palm. It's not grease, but it's not
Yep,
grease.
We're not gonna think. We're not gonna think about that. We're just gonna go find some soap.
You think
That's
not
one
touch
mystery we're
anything
gonna
else on the way.
leave to the universe.
you think Scum
Yep,
might be
don't
shedding,
need to know about that.
but Scum doesn't have any hair. Ugh.
Titania will go out with Scuzz and get him a whole new set of clothes, bunch of stuff.
you can get it for book price.
Probably better than what he had.
You can get it for book price.
Ithram is gonna actually go find Gent, probably finding him while he's furiously scrubbing his hands, and
I
say,
think it's off.
I have a question for you, Gent.
Yes.
If you could have any type of draconic companion, which would you like?
Dragons. Well,
An ancient
Yes, the
one
book
that
you
knows
gave me
rule for-
earlier was very, very valuable. Honored that you gave it to me. That you gave it to me, but the spell that I have finally figured out, any companion should be able to, after a while, once I need one more spell to make it more permanent. For now, it's only for an hour or so, but I would like to give you the first companion.
all right. Blue, probably.
Blue?
Yes.
That will take a while. I can summon wormlings now. It's about the extent.
All right.
But
Get to raise a dragon.
We turn Gran Terra into How to Raise a Dragon.
yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Then blue it shall be. And after who's left here? Carolina.
You're also,
I'll
like
I'll go
it doesn't
through and
take-
ask everybody else.
It doesn't
as well.
take very long for Titania and Skaz to get back.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll go through and Carolina, if you were to have, I'll ask everybody the same question. So.
Right. Yes, we're getting the Hobgoblin personality test. Which color dragon are you?
Yeah. I already have a guess for Ariel, or for Ariel, but
Sorry, I have worked up. What's the question?
What kind of dragon do you want?
yes. If you could have a dragon companion,
In
which
a
would you like?
I'm sorry, in a theoretical situation or is
In a
this
very
situation?
literal sense. It's the permanence is a ways off. But I would like to know so that when it is available.
Well, I would imagine silver, I suppose.
I was right.
It's not a question you get asked every day, Ithram.
I'm aware.
Well done.
Carolina?
Don't really need a dragon companion, but if you're making them copper.
All right. Belder?
That's a weird question, and
That's what
not
Ariel
one-
said.
Not one that I put a lot of thought into in the past.
Well, there's no rush.
I sort of torn between the stories that I know of bronze and gold.
Gold is more difficult. Their spirits are harder to negotiate with.
Actually, Ithram, John, my sword's a red dragon, right?
Blue, I thought.
Yeah, the Dracolich Spineblade.
The Dragon's finally. You haven't actually determined what color it was.
What color are my wings when I transform?
They're skeletal.
Bone, right?
Still. They're bone white.
Weird.
Roll that back. Never mind.
All right.
I was-
Yeah, they're skeletal. They don't really have a color.
I could absolutely, I believe, bargain a gold wormling.
I think a bronze one's probably, from what I understand of their tales and their personalities, a bronze one is probably more appropriate.
All right. And Titania?
Oh, a dragon. What was the big one that we met that I was puking
Max?
on slightly?
Max?
Yeah.
Brass?
Max is a brass dragon, yes.
Brass. Brass? Okay. All right then. Goodness. What did everyone else choose?
Gint chose blue. Ariel silver. I almost said Aaron. Carolina chose copper, and Valdeth chose bronze.
Oh boy.
Come on, Team Chromatic.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go chromatic. Oh, I think I might go with a. You don't hear about them too often.
What color?
There's
You cut out
black
right.
dragon.
Oh,
Sorry.
Black dragon. Okay.
Hmm.
Cool.
You mean like the one that Max killed?
The one that
Oh,
you saw
that's
Max
right.
murder the shit out of.
Yeah. Red then.
Okay then.
Black
And-
dragon. You don't hear about those. We watched one get killed.
I wasn't okay.
That's why we don't. That's why we don't
Why you
hear
don't hear
about
about
them.
him.
She was in NPC coma at the
Tanya
time,
was really
so
hungover.
That's
or
fair. That's
something.
fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
wasn't.
I was having a
You
Her ether was all
you
out
had
of balance.
you were suffering from
Ether
ether sickness.
sickness.
Yes.
yeah.
also known as NPC coma.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I'll ask the same as Scuzz, but I'll get Nikki's.
Yeah, we'll get
answer
Nikki's
later.
answer later.
Yeah.
So what is it? Is it spirit that you're talked to, or what
Yes.
is this?
The version that I have right now, it calls forth a spirit of a dragon. I can only right now only the wormlings listen, and some
Mhm.
drakes, but perhaps farther down the line, spirits of
Cool.
ones that perhaps lived a little bit longer.
I can summon spirits of nature and stuff too. Maybe we could combine something at some point. I don't know how magic works.
Combination summon nature spirit dragon. As we get into
No, I
Yu-Gi-Oh.
mean like a leaf dragon or something.
Yeah, a forest
I'm
dragon.
sure the Izzet have tried it.
Oh yeah, just the Black Rose Dragon from 5D.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Forest dragon.
If
from
you combine different
Warhammer
colors of
Fantasy.
dragons, you get Tiamat, and that's never a good sign.
Yeah, that usually ends disastrously for the player.
Tiamat's wormling form.
I mean different colors. I mean like a dragon plus nature. So like a dragon
The combat pet version of Tiamat.
Yeah.
We're about to become the dragon riding mercenary company.
That has been my plan out of character the whole time.
Yes. Rude.
So like the Wyvern Legion.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but with dragons, not wyverns.
I
So
mean, yeah.
fuck you.
Okay.
I mean, I could
See,
give
I
us
didn't-
wyverns
I
as
didn't-
well.
Wyverns
I
are
didn't need
easier
to buy
tame,
that flying
so-
carpet after all.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go steal that flying carpet from the Drow Kingdom if you so desire.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the distance, Gashkar's spirit is upset with Valdeth, but
Somewhere in the distance.
how dare you
Alright.
disrespect the wyvern?
So, you gather your things and get ready to head out on the road so that you can head down both to Grifftop in order to, set up and are you going to stop by the bank to get out the money for all the additional stuff you want to
Yes. Gen's going to ask if there's any sort of can you do a writ of credit or anything, or
Yeah.
do I need to actually take this money with me?
Yeah, they can establish a writ of credit for you to assign to people so that they can
Okay.
withdraw the funds from your account from your vault whenever they need it.
He'll grab a stack of that paperwork then, because he's got a signet ring.
It would require them going back to Taram whenever they needed to get refunds, which is a couple days' journey from Grifftop without teleportation.
Mhm.
But that is you can absolutely do that.
Okay.
We can also start the house with the teleportation room and get that set up first.
But
Although I don't know a whole
first-
lot about magic, but I do remember that teleportation circles take a long time to form properly.
Yeah, and we should probably get started on heading to that little town that needs help.
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the
Blackja.
road takes us past Grifftop, so we're dropping off the construction
Yep.
workers there.
There we go.
Yeah, 'cause you have to get, you'd go. If you wanted to get there, the quickest way would be to go to Grifftop and then go from there. So, you're heading that way anyways. But yes, as the group of you gather together your things and head off to Grifftop, that's where we're going to end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.